There are intense derbies, there are fierce derbies, and then there is the Old Firm, Celtic versus Rangers, the biggest rivalry in Glasgow and indeed in all of Scottish football. A match that has sparked glory, hatred, violence, and one of the most profound divisions in sports. Rangers, founded in 1872, traditionally represented the Protestant and Unionist community. Until the 1980s, Rangers maintained a policy of not signing Catholic players. In contrast, Celtic, established in 1887 by Irish Catholic immigrants, symbolized the Catholic working class, with its first president being the Archbishop of Glasgow. While Celtic welcomes players of all faiths, the club's leadership remains predominantly Catholic. But the rivalry extended beyond religion and mere colors, green versus blue. It symbolized a deeper clash of identities. Their stadiums, Celtic Park and Ibrox Stadium, are only about 6 kilometers apart geographically. Yet this short distance carries immense symbolic weight. For over a century, these two football clubs have regarded each other with deep-seated hostility. Together, Celtic and Rangers have claimed more than 90% of Scottish football trophies. Having faced each other in numerous domestic competitions, they have played over 400 direct matches, with each team winning roughly 40% of the encounters. Beyond these statistics, the rivalry also has a violent aspect, which has surfaced on several occasions and has even led to tragic consequences. For example, in 1909, after the Scottish Cup final, which ended in a draw, fans of both teams invaded the pitch and clashed with the police, resulting in over 100 injuries. This was not surprising, given that more than 120,000 spectators were in the stadium. In 1931, John Thompson, the goalkeeper for Celtic, died a few hours after a collision with an opponent during the Old Firm match, showing that the ambitions of players were also high in each derby. In 1971, during the final moments of an Old Firm derby, the Ibrox disaster occurred. After Celtic scored in the 90th minute, Rangers quickly equalized, as some spectators were leaving and others returning to their seats to celebrate. A staircase collapsed for unknown reasons, causing 66 deaths in a stadium of 80,000. In 1980, at Hampden Park, thousands of Celtic and Rangers fans fought on the pitch after the Scottish Cup final, an incident that led to a ban on alcohol in Scottish stadiums. Nearly every derby has experienced tense moments and police arrests. Scottish authorities consider the Old Firm matches high-risk events, necessitating a substantial law enforcement presence. The Old Firm rivalry has experienced alternating periods of dominance. For instance, Celtic was the dominant force in the 1960s and 1970s. Under Jock Stein, they became the first British team to win the European Cup in 1967. Rangers claimed the Cup Winners' Cup in 1972 and dominated domestically throughout the 1980s and 1990s. After 2000, particularly following Rangers' bankruptcy in 2012, Celtic dominated the league, winning 9 consecutive titles from 2012 to 2020. Under Steven Gerrard, Rangers ended Celtic's streak by winning the 2021 title undefeated. The rivalry was also embodied by players who became iconic symbols. At Celtic, Billy McNeill is remembered not only as the captain who lifted the European Cup trophy in 1967, but also as the steadfast defender who guarded the green defensive wall for nearly 2 decades. Billy McNeill later went on to become the team's coach. Before becoming a global legend at Liverpool, Kenny Dalglish was Celtic's shining hope, demonstrating that local talent could rise beyond Scotland's borders. The elegance and intelligence of his play redefined what was expected from a footballer nurtured by Celtic. Henrik Larsson of Sweden was more than just a striker for Celtic. He was a true artist on the football field. His remarkable efficiency made him one of the most beloved players in Celtic's history, having played over 200 matches and scored nearly 200 goals for the club. At Rangers, Ali McCoist is the most efficient striker in history. He appeared in over 400 matches and scored more than 250 goals. His achievements were not merely individual milestones, but key contributions that helped Rangers dominate Scottish football throughout the 1980s and 1990s. Part of Ali McCoist's heyday overlapped with that of Graham Souness, who toward the end of his career served as both player and coach at Rangers from 1986 to 1991, following his successful tenure at Liverpool where he won every major title. Danish player Brian Laudrup brought an almost provocative elegance to Ibrox. For the fans, he was proof that Rangers won not only through determination, but also through beauty, a style of football that commanded respect even from their opponents. Direct transfers between the two clubs were almost always considered morally unacceptable. Those who made such moves were viewed as traitors. The Old Firm is more than just a derby. It represents a divide between identities and an economic rivalry between two financial powerhouses in Scotland. Each club is valued at over $100 million. Celtic and Rangers don't just compete for trophies, they play for the legacy they have built throughout history. This is what makes the rivalry eternal. If you want to discover other rivalries as well, please subscribe to our channel, as more episodes like this will follow. We welcome your suggestions about which rivalries we should explain next.